Hello, and thank you for joining our AutoCAD class for today. And I hope that you are gradually catching the concept for all that we've been learning so far. So, we're going to continue with engineering projection, specifically on development of surfaces. All right, so last time we met, we saw a question like this. And the question goes like this: a cone of base diameter 40 mm and slant height 60 mm is kept on the ground on its base. An AIP inclined at 45 to the HP cuts the cone through the midpoint of the axis. Draw the development, right? So let's go straight into AutoCAD and let's see how best we can draw this. All right, so I'm going to on my AutoCAD and go to start a new drawing. Click on the drop down arrow for the new select ISO DWT. And once I open the drawing like this, what I will do is that I'm going to zoom in a little bit. That's the reason why most of the times, most of you draw and your drawing is so small because once you start your drawing, you just start right away. Okay, you have to zoom in a little bit, depending on the units that you're working in. So, um, things you need to know first. Sorry, I assume you know how to draw your title block, you know how to set your limits, your units, and all of that. So I'm not going to go through the process. I'm just going to tackle the problem we have straight. All right. So there are a lot of ways you can solve this particular question, depending on how you are conversant to the tools and how you can, play around with the tools. So I'm going to use my unique way, which of course I believe that it will help you. Okay. So that notwithstanding, that doesn't mean that whatever method you use is wrong. But so far as you're able to solve the problem and solve it very, very well, then we are good to go. So I'm going to utilize the construction lines, select cross, click on the drop down arrow, select cross. I'm going to place it somewhere here. Remember, I'm trying to use the grid, which is the boxes that is already available there, as my guide. So if you realize the cross is flashing one of the grid lines, okay. Then I'll go to construction again. This time around, I select horizontal. And this time I'll use it to flash on this one and then flash on this one. Press escape. Do you see that? So currently you see the grid lines you see there, all my horizontal lines are flashing on it, giving it more of like an equal distance. It's just there for a guide. Then the question says that we have the base being what? um, 40. So I'm going to select line command. Now I want to use the layer contour. Basically, I want to use a white one, right? Because I'm now starting the drawing itself. And make sure the auto mode is on so that I can draw a straight line of length what 40 mm, and then I press enter twice, right? So this is a 40 mm. Put the auto mode off. I'm going to move this guy here. Okay, move. I'm going to move this guy here basically to flash with the midpoint here. So I go to move command, select the line, okay, I press enter, and I choose the midpoint of the line, then I make sure it flashes with this midpoint of the intersection here like that. Okay, now we need to find for the overall height because the question gave us the slant height, not the overall height, right? So it means that we need to find for the overall height. So by Pythagoras theorem, we know that making height the subject, we will get a height of 56.56854. Now, because I want to get precision, that's the reason why I'm creating a lot of decimal places after the point so that I can aim at precision. I want to make sure that I work towards precision. So select offset. Okay, offset distance of 56, which is representing the distance, right? 865.854. Right, press enter. Then I select this line like this, then I create an offset. Then remember the question says that we have the auxiliary inclined plane inclined at an angle of 45 to the HP, which is the horizontal plane. So it means that I have to create another offset again, right? This time round, it's an offset for the midpoint. So a distance half of 56.5684 will give you 28 point, I think 8 something. Yeah, 28.28427. And I press enter. All right, then I select this line here, then I create an offset. So this is the midpoint of the height. Okay, now guys, pardon me if you get some feedback from the background. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm going to now draw my line from this apex here I draw it to this point here. Now, if you realize that you are getting some 60 appearing on the screen, telling you that that's the distance is 60 exactly. So you are good to go. So I'm going to repeat the line command again. Then this I'll do it for the other side. Okay, then I'll press enter. I don't need this guy again, so I'll select it and press delete on the keyboard. Now I have to get the incline, all right, an angle of 45. So I go to the polar tracker here, select polar tracker, click on the drop down arrow, and change the settings to 45, 90, 135. So I want to draw an incline of 45. So once you see the green line appearing, it means that that's the tracker for 45. Okay, I think this is the tracker for 45, right? This. And I press enter. What I'll do is now I'm going to move this 45 to flash with the midpoint here. So what I'll do is that I go to the move command, okay, and then I select the object, press enter, choose the midpoint of it, and let it flash with the midpoint here. Oh no, go back again. I think there was a step. So I'm going to select the move again, press enter, then I'll choose a midpoint so that it flashes with this like that. Okay, so I have that already. So I'm going to remove this guy. I don't need you again. Okay, then I'm going to trim. So press trim, and I'm going to trim this side, and I'm going to trim this side. I don't need you. So basically, this is the incline passing through the midpoint at an angle of 45. Okay, I'm going to utilize the construction line again. This is on the vertical, so I flash with this point and flash with this point. Press escape on the keyboard. So this is the front view projection of the cone. I need to get the top view projection, which is going to look like a circle. And the circle is going to take the shape of the base. So the circle is going to be a center diameter circle with what? Distance 40 or diameter 40. So I'm going to move this circle to flash with this one. So before that, make sure you come to the object snap and you have your object snap on and also your quadrant also on, because I'm going to use that to move. Then from there, I go to the move, select the object, press enter, choose the upper part here, which is the first quadrant, then let it flash like that. Then currently we have the circle flashing here and that. Okay, so I'm going to do a division for this circle as usual, which is 12 divisions. So I'll go back to layer, click on the mechanical layer, and I'll create a new layer, then I'll call it divisions. Okay, and I click on, I'm going to change the color. I want the color to be, okay, let me select this color. You can choose any color of your choice. Click on apply, and I'll right click on this to set as the current layer and click on apply and okay. So currently this is my current layer. I want to create a division for the circle here. So select line, choose the midpoint of that, and then you draw it to this, you press enter. So I'm going to create a division of what? 12. 12 divisions here. So what I'll do is I'll utilize the modify command here, the modify panel, and there's a guy called polar array. So you're going to select polar array, click on the drop down arrow closest to rectangular array, select polar array, and select this line. This is the line I want to use to divide. Press enter, select the midpoint of the circle, then increase this. So how many items do you want to divide? I want to divide it to 12 equal parts within this 360 circle. Total angle is 360. So take note of that. So I change the items from 12, let it fill within the 360. So that's that. I click on that and I'm done. So I have this division here, which is looking very nice. And then what I'll do now is to number the divisions. So I'll utilize the multi-line text. Okay, draw the text editor box and I type 1. I think 1 is cool, right? And then I click, make sure the height is okay. So this is where you change the height. I think the 2.5 is okay for me. If yours is small or 0.22, make sure you highlight the text and then change it. But it's okay for me, so I'm going to leave it like that. Then I'm going to put my object snap off, but I'm going to copy this. So I'll copy this number, press enter. Then I'm going to copy it around the text, the circle in this orientation. Okay, okay, nice one. So basically, I'm doing this for the drawing so that I'll be able to identify what I'm doing very well. Press escape, and then what I'm going to do now is to double click inside the text editors. Okay, once I double click inside the text editor, I can be changing the numbering. Okay, so basically that is the essence of doing some of these things. So I change it to 2, press outside the text editor, and I'm going to change this guy, okay, into 3, then click outside the text editor like that. I do this one which is 4, click outside the text editor. I click this one which is 5, press escape. I click this one, this is 5, and click on text editor, and I click this one which is 6, click on the text editor, then I come to this side which is what, 7, click this. Okay, so take your time and be doing it one by one. Okay, it will definitely be working for you. So this will be 9, and this will be 8, I presume. Yeah, so this will be 10. So click on it and add 0 to it. Okay, then this will be 11. Then finally we have this guy to be 12. Okay, so I have the division nicely done like this. Okay, I'm going to clean this one here. I don't need it again. So again, what I'm going to do now is project these divisions upwards, right? So I'm going to create a new layer for that, and I'll call it I'll give it a different name. So let me call it auxiliary inclined plane something. Auxiliary inclined plane AIP lines. All right, just something, and then I'll change the color. I'll give it a different color. I want to choose the cyan color. I think it's fine. Click on OK, apply, then set as current layer. Okay, so I've done that. Now, basically, what we are doing is that once we have this division, because of this incline AIP cutting through the cone like that, we will see the effect of it in the form of a circle with respect on the plan. Okay, so that's basically what we want to do. We want to project and see how it looks like when we are looking at it from the top view. So I'm going to make sure my auto mode is on and my object snap setting is on. Click on the drop down arrow and make sure you also have intersection and sorry perpendicular also on. Very very important. So click on line. So this is my one line being projected here. So this is the one. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to project from 12 to 2, right? So 12 and 2 will hit this baseline here perpendicularly. Did you get it? So you're going to get a perpendicular like this. All right. Then you're going to do same for this part. So 11 and then 3 going to hit the base point. Oh no, there's something wrong. So let it make sure you see. Once you see the symbol, then it's fine. So I want to increase productivity. So I'm going to mirror. I'm not going to draw and draw and draw and draw. I'm going to mirror. So select mirror, and this is the object. These lines. I want to mirror these lines. Press enter about this axis in this orientation. Do you want to clean? No. So that is that for efficiency and productivity sake. All right. So that is that. Then from there, put the auto mode on. From there, I'm going to project. Once they hit this base here, I'm going to project it to the apex like that. Okay. Then you repeat the line from the apex to this part, right? Then you repeat it from here to the apex. Okay. Do you see it very nicely like that? Then from there, we are going to see the effect. So this is the effect, right? So these projections that we have there, we have down here are coming up like this. They hit the base and they bend towards the apex. So for this one line, this is the effect with respect to the front view, right? And this is for the 2 and then 11. This will be for 3 and then 10, right? 3 and 11. So 2 and 12 will be this one. So this point is 2 and 12. This part will be 3. Okay. This will be 4 and 10. This will be 3 and 11. It goes and then goes and then goes and then goes on. Right. So we want to project them down. So this time I'm going to change it. I'm going to use a different layer. All right. Let me create a different layer for that. Okay. So I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to call it basically all we are doing is that we want to make sure that everything we are doing is on different layers. All right, we are creating different layers for it. So all right, let's use the layer we have already here. I think that'll be fine. The IP layer, there's no need to create a new one. So I'm going to select the straight line command, make sure the auto mode is on. Then from where they hit on the auxiliary incline plane, this point here, so click here, then you drag it down, right? You drag it down to somewhere here, leave it. Then you go again for this one. You repeat the line command. This time around, this point is for the 2 and then 12, right? You project it down. Make sure the auto mode is on to help you get straight lines, right? And then repeat this line again for this part. Okay, like that. Then you are going to repeat this for that, for this part. Now, if you realize the 4 and then 10 is starting from here, which is traveling the same path as the center line. So there's no need in doing that. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll repeat the line, then do for this corner here, downwards, and then we'll repeat it again for this last point here, this point here. Okay. Then we project it down in that orientation. So basically we projected our lines down like that. We need to get the effect on the plan. All right, so to see the effect on the plan, we need to track the point. So basically, this is the one line traveling up, it hits like it, then it comes down. So it comes down and meet the one line here. This is the 12 and 2 traveling like this. It goes, hits, and then come back. So this is the 2 and then 12. So this is the 3 and 11 traveling. It goes to hit the inclined plane here, all right, at and it comes out at 3 division here and then here, all right. When we come to this one, we don't know where exactly it is, so we use what we call transpose, right? So we are going to draw a line from this midpoint, okay, from this midpoint here to meet this side of the triangle. I'm going to trim this side. Let me trim it. Let me trim. Okay, so I type trim, TRI, okay, trim. Then I'll trim this side. Then I'm going to transpose using this distance. So I go to utility, select distance, and then know the distance between that. So it's 10. It means I'm going to transpose at a distance of 10, all right, from the center. So I choose the arc center start end. So this is my center, right? And I want to start it at a distance of 10, this orientation, then transpose. So this is the transpose. All right. Okay. So now that we are done, I want to see the effect of the cutting plane or the inclined plane on the top view. So I'm going to change my layers. This time I'm going to go back to the Z layer, which is the outline layer for my drawing in this case. And I'll go to the drop down arrow for the draw here. Then select spline. Because the spline is what is going we are going to use to get the circle effect here. So like I explained, this will be the point for the one, because why? Because this is the one line traveling like this. Okay. So once it hits the inclined plane here, It travels down and come and meet the one line again. So this is the one. Okay, so this will be my one using the spline. I want to put the auto mode off. So this is, let me go back to select the spline tool again. So this will be my one. Okay, I think the auto mode is still on. This will be my two. This will be my three. This will be my four. This will be my five. And then this will be, I think I made a mistake. So we need to take our time and get the point very well. So let's start all over again. Choose a spline. Okay, this will be our one. This will be our two. This will be our three. This will be our four. You zoom in, this will be our five. Zoom in, this will be our six. Okay, then this will be our seven. This will be our eight. This will be our nine. This will be our 10. This will be our 11. This will be our 12. And then finally we come back to 1. Then we press enter. Okay, so like that. So you see the effect in that orientation. So let me put all the layers off, alright, by clicking in the bulb, right? So click in the bulb to put the layers off. I want to put the AMCL off. So this is the effect that we are seeing there, alright. It's going to be like a circular effect. Okay, it's going to be like a circle effect like that. So I go to the hatch, okay, select hatch, alright. Then I choose a hatching style. Currently it's on pattern. So I click inside like that, and that's the hatching for that. So click on the close and I've hatched it in this orientation. Okay, I'm not done yet. So I'm going back to my layers. I'm going to put everything on again. Okay. So the next I'm going to do is to get the development of the cone itself. And to do the development, I need to get the development angle, which is the theta, which we know if you want to get that is the R on L times 360 degrees, right? So once you compute those figures, you get an angle of 120. So to help me get that, I'm going to draw the development from the continuation from here upwards. Okay, and the angle is 120. So I'm going to utilize the arc command, which is the specifically the center start angle. So I click that. That means that this will be my center. I want to start from this point and I want to get an angle of 120. So that's my angle of 120. Then I close the 120. Make sure the outline layer is selected. In this case, the zero, that's the zero. Then I close it like that and press enter. I need to divide this side, which is the spreading, into 12 equal parts. So go to polar array, select the edge of the line, press enter, and then choose the center point, and then you're going to divide it. I want it to fill within an angle of 120 this time around because realize that the angle we had here was 120. The number of items, I'm going to make it 12. But remember, if you are cutting a cone at one end and spreading it open, so if I cut it at point one, when I spread it open, I have to also end at point one. So instead of the 12, it's going to be 13 divisions. Press enter. Then I click on what? Close. So this is the division I have here. Now I'm going to number it. So I select copy, select one, press enter. I'm going to copy it around the division. So one, two, this will be, I want to put the auto mode off. I think that's the reason why I'm getting that. So I'll just snap off. Alright. And so one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I'm back to 1 again. Okay, so I'm going to go inside the editor double click and make sure this is 12, right? Double click, this is what, 11, right? Double click, this is what, 10, double click, this is what, 9, double click, this is what, 9, and then double click, this will give you what, 8, and then double click, this will give you what, 7, and then double click, this will give you what, 6 in that orientation. So 6, double click, this will give you what, 5. Then we go to what, 4, and then we go to 3, and then finally this is the 2, and then we come back to 1. So I'm going to delete this guy, I don't need you again. So that's the division I have there nicely. And so we need to also see the effect of the cutting with respect to development. So to do that, I'm going to change the layers. This time I'm going to use the division, and I'm going to select line. Make sure the auto mode is on. I'm going to project from this point. Okay, object snap to is also on. Alright, so from this point, I'm going to project it in this orientation. Plus, okay, so this is what I'm going to do so that I can get the division with respect to the development, right? So from this point, just drag it outside here a little bit. Press enter. Repeat line command again from this point like that, and then repeat the line command again from this point in this orientation, and then repeat line command from this point to that. Then the last one, which is this point, so that there's no need in doing that. I'm going to trim from here. Okay, so I'm going to trim from here so I can get a neat drawing. I remember in exams, neatness is going to be also graded. So don't just draw anything and expect that it's nice. Make sure you do a good work. Okay, so from here, we're still going to use the division command, and I'm going to now project from this with respect to the development angle that I have here. So I go to the arc command, select arc center start end, and then I'm going to choose this as my center. This is my start, and I'm going to end it somewhere here. Okay, so end it there for me. Repeat again, repeat the arc command again. So center, and then this is the starting point. Okay, it's not. Let me go to here, start, center, start, end. So select in this orientation. Okay, and then do it for all of them. So center, start, end. All right, so this is the center, this is the start, and this is the end. All right, repeat the same process for all of that. Center, start. I don't know why it's behaving like that, but anyway, let's use the old approach here. Center, start, and then end. Okay, click again. Center, start. Start to be this guy here, and then end. And the last time, center this last point here. Okay, and then end in this orientation. Then from there, I'm going to trim. So select trim command. All right, then I'm going to trim in this orientation. All right, so I think I've even trimmed the construction lines too as well. But anyway, so that is that. Okay, then from there, I need to change to depth 0, which is the outline in my case. All right, and I'll have to track the effect when I cut it. Okay, so select my spline again, go to spline, and then this time around, so this is my one line, so this one will intersect the one at this point. This 2 and then 12 will intersect 2 at this place. This is 3 and then 10 or 11 will intersect 3 here at this point. This is 4 and 10 will intersect 4 on this point here. So use that approach to continue to track. So I'm going to click from here. Auto mode is on, so it's giving me restriction. So like that, like that, and then this point. Okay, let me start all over again. So I'm going to select the spline, go to the drop down arrow here, select spline, alright, and then I'm going to start from this point, then choose this point, followed by this point, followed by that point, followed by that point, and then I think I missed another division. That's the reason I'm not getting it. So there's another division I missed here, which is this one exactly. So I need to go back to the arc command. So that is the center, right? Then start this part. Yes. Oh no, I need to change the layer. So go back to layer because I use a division layer for that. So I need to make sure that I select the division layer, then go back again. So pay attention to that in case you are using layers. So the layer is supposed to help us get a network. So I want you to end here. You just do it. We are going to trim that side. Okay, so I'm going to start the point again. So I'm going to change the layer to now outline. Drop down arrow, select spline, and then we go again. So next time around, I'm sure we'll get it. Okay, so take your time. Okay, travel this part. This is the 6, and then we get the 7 here. Come down 8. This will be for 9. This will be for 10. This will be for 11. This will be for 12. And then finally this will be for up to 1. And press enter. So that is that. So this is the effect with respect to the plan, traveling in that orientation. All right. And then finally we need to copy this here because once you spread this, you're going to have uh, this orientation and a cone beneath it. So I'm going to select copy, then I'm going to copy this, press enter, and then I'm going to choose this quadrant. I want to choose this quadrant for my copy. I want to make sure it flashes tangentially to this, and then press So this is basically the development. Okay, this is basically the development. So I can put everything off. Right, I'm going to put AIP lines off. I'll leave only the outline there, and then the divisions to off in this orientation. So I'm going to get a final product like this, something like that. Okay, something like this. So you can choose to delete these lines. You see, when I deleted it, everything is gone off. All right, but most of the times we keep it for us to show that these are construction lines and to indicate the methods that we use to draw our line. So we made a mistake. We're supposed to make sure we use um, what do you call it, construction line. We use an outline wide for the division. All right, so make sure you pay attention to that. So these are some of the little mistakes that students do make. So instead of this, I'm going to choose division. Then I'll go to polar array again. Select this line, press enter. Then Select the center point. It's giving me a different color feel. Okay, no problem. So I want to use this line division. Okay, so to do that, we draw a line from this part to this part. Yes, then I'm going to use as my reference for the division, right? So select polar array again, choose this line, press enter, select the center point, change this to 13, 13, right? You change this to 13, and then the fill angle, which is going to be 120 for the fill angle. Okay, press enter, click on close. Okay, so that's the division there. So just in case I put it off like this, all right. Okay, then I can now utilize the outline, which is def select line. Then I draw a line in this orientation. Okay, I can also delete this, trim this guy off. So let me click on trim, because once you cut this open, you will not see this outline again. Okay, you're not going to see, oh no, go back one step. You're not going to see this guy again. So it's going to be a construction line from that point on. Do you get my point? Because you've cut that side off. Okay, so it means that from that point, I'm going to utilize the construction or the division line to this point like that. Okay, so basically, this is the end product of our drawing. All right, this is the end product of our drawing. Let's put everything off and let's see how it finally looks like. Yes, I want to put this off. I want to put everything off. Click on the drop down arrow, put everything off with the exception of the AIP, and yeah, I need to indicate the center line. So I'm going to come to the contours here, then I select center line, right? Sorry, EM center. I want to put the auto mode on AI center. Let me put the tracker on so that it can help me get the center line of the snap, yeah, or auto mode, yeah, because this is a cone, so I need to get the center. Then finally I can put the center also off, right? Yeah, put it off. So basically this is the end product of our work. All right, so I hope with this tutorial you'll be able to do everything nicely, and you'll get your mark. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to produce more videos on the development of surfaces as we move on. Thank you. Have a fruitful evening.